Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be talking about one of the famous Doctor Who stage plays, or shall I say, the audio version of it, the Big Finish audio version of it, which is, of course, 7 Keys to Doomsday. This, of course, was sent to me as part of a package, actually, of the stage plays from one of my patrons, Unknown289, which I appreciate. And I've given it a listen, and this is one of those ones where it really pays to listen to the extras, because it's 2 discs. Part 1 of the story is on disc 1, part 2 of the story is on disc 2, but both discs have bonus behind-the-scenes material, and you really learn a lot about this story from it. Like, I learned that Trevor Martin, the guy who voices the Doctor in this audio came out in 2008, but the original theatrical production came out in 1974. But Trevor Martin, who's voicing it in the 2008 version, is also the actor who played the Doctor in the 1974 stage play. That's pretty cool that they got him back. And I believe he's one of the Time Lords, one of the High Council Time Lords in the War Games as well. And that's, of course, him there. Another shot of him there. I do know he has passed on since then. I looked him up. I believe he passed away in 2017. And that in the original stage play, Wendy Padbury played the female character, Jenny, in it. And in the audio here, it's played by Charlie Hayes, which is Wendy's daughter. I didn't know that was Wendy's daughter, but it mentions in the behind the scenes that they actually got Wendy's daughter to voice her. And that's pretty cool to me. I enjoyed that. This is really enjoyable. First off, Trevor Martin, I really like his Doctor. He's almost like a hybrid between Pertwee and Troughton. Even though in this story he's supposed to be an alternate 4th Doctor, like Pertwee regenerates into him. Listening to how he talks, he reminds me of a cross between Troughton and Pertwee, which is interesting because Troughton and Pertwee are very different Doctors. The 2nd and 3rd Doctors are polar opposites in so many ways. But he seems like he's between them. Also his voice. I like his voice. His voice feels like the voice of the Doctor. There's just something about it. It has this air of caring and compassion, but also this air of authority, like you'll listen to what he says and that he is going to impart wisdom. It's just something about Trevor's voice. I was clocking the whole... It was probably my favorite thing in the whole story. I'm like, he sounds like the Doctor. I am completely buying him as an alternate version of the Doctor. And that's a quick way to sell me on a story right there. If I can buy someone playing the Doctor, like a certain blonde-haired Doctor that I won't name, but I have certain issues with her portrayal sometimes. We won't mention any names because I'm not always convinced they're the Doctor. Sometimes I am, but sometimes I'm not. But Trevor Martin, just almost immediately, something in the voice, I was just like, okay, this is the Doctor. The companions are a little tedious at times, especially the guy, what's his name? Jimmy? I found him very bothersome. I found Jimmy, nothing against the voice actor voicing him, nothing against him. I think it's more of the writing. I didn't really care for it. And again, I know this is Uncle Terrence, and we do love us some Uncle Terrence around here. And I'm sure it's been altered some from the original stage play. I do remember in the behind the scenes, I believe it was Terrence, because, of course, this was from 2008. Terrence was still with us. And he was talking about the challenges of taking something that's a stage play, which is very reliant on a visual medium, on seeing it, and trying to change that into an audio story, which is very different. You don't have that visual, and still making it work, and the challenge of that, which I think they succeed in. I like this. The Daleks show up late at the end of part 1. Nicholas Briggs is, of course, great as the Daleks, as he always is. I enjoyed the progression of the story. I like the fact that you can see ideas that got borrowed from other things later, which is also touched on in behind the scenes. But I had, of course, clocked those myself beforehand. The planet they're on, for example, for most of the story is a planet called Karn. Same planet that, Karn, that's it. The same planet, my mind is blanking. Brain of Morbius. Brain of Morbius is on that story, and Night of the Doctor is on that story. I kept wanting to say Horror Fang Rock. I don't know where my head was there. But Brain of Morbius is of course on the planet Karn. So it's nice to see that it was originally in this. And then the assembling of the 7 keys to Doomsday is very reminiscent to what's happening in the Key to Time, with the crystal keys being assembled to be a strong source of power. So there's definitely themes there. And I like the fact that the Doctor gets one of the crystals basically at the start of the story, and that's the one that becomes the linchpin of it. And of course the Daleks want to use the crystals to power their ultimate weapon, because the Daleks are all about an ultimate weapon. So they're powering their ultimate weapon. We get to meet other survivors who are resistance fighters on Karn. I like them. They're voiced well. We get to meet a Guardian there. We get to meet a computer that actually has a personality, at least to a degree. All of the voice cast are good in this. They're all at least good. Maybe not like Oscar winning, but good. There's no time in this when someone was voicing a character that was pulling me out of a story. They're varying degrees of good, but they're all good. I was never disappointed with the voice cast. I liked the story. I thought the runtime was good. And I think it does a good job of getting... Of course, I never saw the original stage play, due to the fact that, well, one, I live in the States, not in the UK, and two, due to the fact that, well, I wasn't born in 1974 yet. So it's not really my fault. So I can't say what the original version was like. It's a shame there's no recordings of it, but again, 1974, there probably wouldn't be recordings of it. But this audio version translates well. It's very easy for me to follow what is happening, which is not true of a lot of the audios. One of my biggest complaints, if you ever hear me really ripping into an audio in a negative way, is that I'm confused about what's happening. This is usually down to bad execution of a script or terrible sound mixing, like Doom Coalition 2 Part 2 had. I think Scenes from Her Life had some dreadful sound mixing. And then sometimes there's just so much going on, so many people are talking, it's hard to tell people apart. I will admit there were a couple times in this I wasn't quite sure which female was talking. Some of their voices sound alike to me, but it wasn't... The fact that I'm just now remembering to mention that, it wasn't that detrimental to the story, and it only happened very few times. That it wasn't really problematic. I really enjoyed this. I found it an enjoyable read. Again, I think part of it is the fact that the music's in it too. There's this one piece of music they use a lot, and I can't remember how it goes, but it has a kind of epic feel to it. You hear it play a couple times in the behind-the-scenes stuff, and I really like that music. There's some good incidental music here. The script is very cleverly written. I don't know if Terrence wrote the adaptation of this for audio, or if someone took his original script and did it to audio or not. Either way, it's a good script. And then again, Trevor Martin's voice is just so good. He's so convincing as the Doctor. So convincing. I like the thought of him as an alternate Doctor. So yeah, I really like Seven Keys to Doomsday. It's not like the best Big Finish audio story I've ever heard, but it's an important piece of Doctor Who history. And I'm really glad I got to listen to it. This is one I could see myself going back to one day. Having the urge for it, to hear Trevor Martin again. And it's a good enough adventure that it's not like a one and done for me, like, say, Spare Parts or something, which I can go the rest of my life never hearing again. This is more like Maltese Penguin, where I could definitely see myself picking it up again one day. So I liked Seven Keys to Doomsday. So what do you think? Have you listened to the audio? Did you actually manage to see the play originally when it was out? I know it didn't really do that well, but I'm sure there's still some people around who saw it. Comment down below and let me know what you think. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. There's a link to that also down there. I have my P.O. box down there if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. A link to the Amazon wish list is down there. A link to the Amazon UK wish list is also down there. I also want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons: Colin Coney, Sam Venning, Finn Perkins, and Unknown289. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. Most importantly, thank you for watching.